My fender's a little bit worse for the wear, but I don't think it's going to land on the tires and pop a tire, so it's good to go. Okay, so I filled up. $100 gives me half a tank. It's kind of ridiculous. And that truck is definitely harder to pull. I think it's pulling a lot of wind with. So I broke down coil pack D. That's the one I had the fault on. I was looking on my phone. That's cylinder number 4. So rear of engine, front of engine. So there'll be the passenger side rear. And I took the spark plug out and it got mechanically pounded, so something went in there. Excuse me, something went in there and flattened the end of the spark plug out. I went and got a new borescope for checking in the cylinder. I had to get one with a smaller tip. I have a Milwaukee one, but the end is too big. Oh, look at that, a bit of metal. Little chunk of metal in there. So if it was just a cylinder head and there wasn't any damage to the cylinder wall, that looks like a piston ring. Yeah, look at the top of the piston. Yeah. So what was making that big clattering noise was the top of the piston breaking off. Yeah, look at that. There's the top of the piston, there's the oil rings. You can see it all on the side there. So yeah, this is the end of the 5.4. So I'm not going to bother taking it apart. I'm just going to, I don't know. Haha, cheese balls. The perfect container. Probably 2 or 3 of those worth of antifreeze though. But yes, that high quality antifreeze. That's the Ford Gold stuff. But it's coming out orange. Make sure it's draining quick enough. So that's a 34-inch high radiator. 34 by 30 and a half, say 31, so 34 inches high by 31 inches wide. That's a big radiator. Just seems big for a gas engine, but I guess a 5.4 creates a lot of heat, so. No. I must have been missing it. Oh, obviously. well, if I ever had thoughts of putting an epoxy floor in, that's yeah, that makes it a little bit harder. Floor is all soaked with oil and antifreeze ahead of time. The 5.4 liter in all its glory. I put a lot of parts on this motor. It's kind of a shame. There's a new alternator, new power steering pump, new water pump, new tensioner, new timing chains, gear, tensioners, brand new factory Ford phasers, new control valves. I forget the name of it. Went through all the roller followers, changed out the ones that were kind of loose. It's got a new throttle body, new oil pump. What else did I do to it? Yeah, it's just a shame, but that's probably what kept it running this long. I have most of the accessories taken off. There's the air conditioning compressor. I couldn't get to the bolt at the back, so when I lift it up, I'll finish pulling out the bolts. I got two. I got the ones on the bottom. I just couldn't get the one on the far back side. Power steering pump is off. Got the chain across. I unbolted everything I could from the back of the motor. The ground wire strap is off. Heater core lines are off. I got the transmission mount off. I got the both engine mounts are unbolted. Unbolted the exhaust manifold so the pipe will stay there and the engine will just come out. Drive shafts unbolted. I didn't realize on these transmissions, this is a torque shift. I didn't realize that you can just, bolt the transfer case up to it. You just undo the yoke on the transmission, and then you get a shaft underneath there, and then you just bolt your transfer case to the back of it. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I got my jack in place. I got it lined up so when I lift the engine it can just wheel ahead with everything. That's the plan anyway. As long as I don't have too many tools to get stuck under the wheel. Just gonna slide the forks under the chain and throw a bolt in the end of the fork so it doesn't pull out. And we'll see how it goes. This one I should be able to pull out with the forklift. It's under, with the engine transmission, I think it's under 2,000 pounds, so no problem. But the 466 in the big truck there, the engine itself is like 1,400 pounds, and I guess it's still under 2,000 pounds, but it'll be a little bit harder. That little machine will handle like 2,500 pounds, no problem, without any issue. But as soon as you start getting higher than that, then the back wheels start coming off the ground, and I got to throw the weight on it. And then when because I welded the front diff on it, so I wasn't getting stuck in the yard all over the place. It has trouble steering when you put too much weight on it. You got to like back up, go ahead, back up, go ahead. Just to get it to turn enough. So, but this engine should be no problem. We'll see. So I'm gonna jack it up, get those last two bolts off the air conditioning compressor, get that out of the way, and then try to pull it ahead. Okay, so I can get the air conditioning compressor out. Oil filter's in the way. And the oil filter, I don't know, the housing it screws into is in the way. Engine's up high enough, it's hitting on the oil pan. So maybe I'll pull the oil pan off. Engine's no good anyway. Probably should have pulled that off before I started doing all this, but okay, so I guess that's the oil cooler. See how well, helps the engine warm up and cool the oil. See the cooling lines running to the right above the oil filter housing. Yeah, it's the oil cooler as well. Oil warmer and oil cooler. Yeah, so if you're gonna do it like this, gotta pull the oil pan off, gotta pull the oil cooler off. Maybe you might get away with just unscrewing your oil filter. Damn it, engine's full of oil too. You can probably get it out with the oil pan on, which is very, very tight. I didn't pull that off because I wasn't worried about reusing the harness, but so I broke the plastic on there. But it's out and it's passed, and I can probably go up just a little bit higher even. So yeah, I think all I'm gonna do is unscrew that oil filter, take my air conditioning compressor off, and then this should come out. Okay, air conditioning compressor off, oil filter off. I had to push it back a little bit because the oil filter was hitting on the cross member. Yeah, so I'll just lift it a bit higher, give it some more tugs. The engine's got enough room to clear it with the oil pan on. It's just the transmission mount there. I can loosen this side, I got it loosened already. The other side was having trouble loosening it because the exhaust pipe was in the way. So I'm gonna try to take it out with the mount on there. I'm not gonna need the mount with the other engine anyway, might as well just leave it with this transmission. Yeah, so I'll lift up the engine, try to pull it ahead. Hopefully that's not gonna get caught on the exhaust pipe. If it does, I'll give it a little bit more of a jack up. And here we go. Try it again. I don't know what's sticking on what, but something's grabbing at the back there. We'll see. O2 sensor wires. I didn't unclip those. That one O2 sensor's probably shot anyway. That's the side it was. I don't know if I should worry about saving those or just snip the wires. Okay. So yeah, looks like the only thing holding it is the O2 sensor. There's that one ground wire up on the back right hand corner there, that's disconnected already. Got fuel lines here. Some fuel lines running up there. I didn't disconnect those because I didn't see where it connected. Oh, just disconnects right here. Duh. Okay, so I'll disconnect those, and then maybe I can reuse those with the other engine. And to disconnect those, all you do is squeeze them and pull them out, which I need 2 hands to do. So I'm gonna turn the camera off here. The fuel line's disconnected. See, good thing I'm not a smoker. So if I was down here with a cigarette in my mouth, be a fire right now. Okay, why don't I? Why not? I don't want to stick my hand in the danger zone. Where are you, wire? I suppose I could just yank it out. This one's really pulled tight. I didn't hold that exhaust pipe, it might have bonked me in the head. Okay. So, I think that's all that's holding it. Here's the block heater cord. Okay, block heater cord is off. Okay. Here's a battery cable. Oh, you sneaky fella. It's a number 10 on top of a... Okay, maybe the battery cable is off. It's the ground strap. Yeah, 2 of those stay with the engine. Those they clip in here if you have a 07. I think an 06 and an 07, and later probably have that. They have the clips here. So it's just got that one wire holding it at the back, and everything else is with the engine. So the connector on the side of the transmission there, I didn't unbolt it. Figured that would all stay with the engine, and it does. See that wiring loom goes there, up. And there's this one here, that's for the transmission. This one's for the engine. So 2 of those go with the engine. And then 1 stays with the body. So yeah, cool. So this engine is wide, but it's not very long. That's a tiny little engine. It's only 2 hand sizes. Look, 1 hand, 2 hand, 2 hand and 1/8. So 2 1/8 hands. Very tiny little engine. Short little engine. It's a Choda. Fuel pump maybe. Okay. That was the last wire holding it. I just gotta lift it high enough where these bolts on the transmission mount clear. Okay, it's out. That's a big cavity. Hopefully it's big enough to get that 466 in there.